Okay, hello guys. This how-to will be about creating DLLs, creating multiple projects, referencing them, and few other tricks related to that. Okay, so before we start, why do you need to create a DLL file? Well, basically, if you are having a big project, you won't do all the coding yourself. What happens, usually the project is split into a number of units that each few members of the team will work on that, and later on you can combine them. These units could be DLLs, modules. It's up to to uh, to the team leader to decide that, but you know, DLLs are are one common way to use them. Another thing is that you might want to create DLL that provide a common functionality, and this allows you to use the DLL in multiple projects. Also, if you want to provide functionalities to others without exposing the source code, you can convert your project into a DLL file, which allows others to use that, and no one will see how did you implement this code. Okay, so in this example we are going to create a project that will access a DLL file. Okay, so basically we have this project. Okay, and now we are going to rename this form to be main project. Okay, and the reason I'm naming this like this is that I am naming it like this, that I want you to distinguish this one. Okay, and now what I am going to do, I'm going to create the DLL project here. So right click here, select add, and select new project. Okay, so pay attention here. I did a right click on the solution and select add a new project, and now it's going to ask me what type of project I want to add. I can select any of these, but right now I'm gonna say, let's say empty project here. Okay, and now I'm going to say for example TDLL, and the reason I am saying, or let's call it some kind of other, let's call it test. Okay, I'm gonna press OK here. Okay, there's another project called test N001. So this is test 001. I'm gonna press OK here. Now I'm gonna right click here, select the properties just to make sure. Now here it is called Windows Forms application. The type of project is Windows Form application. What this means is that this is going to generate an exe file. You can use that, but for now we are going to change this into a class library. When you create a class library, you are going to get a DLL file. Okay, now this is the first thing. The second thing you must pay attention to here is that the root namespace. The root namespace is the name you are going to use in order to access the project. Okay, in this case it's the same, test N001. Leave it as it is for now. Okay, so right now right click here, I'm gonna select add. I'm gonna say add a module here, and let's say I'm gonna call this simple module. Okay, so what now this module, first thing here you must remember, you want other projects to access the functionalities here. Because of that, you need to put the word public. Okay, make sure to make this module public. Okay, next you should do the following: public function. Now we are going to create this very simple function, say hello. Okay, so MSG box hello from the DLL. Okay, I guess I should call this subroutine because yeah. So we have this. Okay. Now, if you want to access now this simple module inside test N001, well, you will not be able to do so. I'm gonna show you why. So here, okay, I'm gonna call this call DLL. Okay. Now, if I say test N001, okay, it will not get identified here. Okay, and the reason is simple. You didn't add a reference of this project into this project. Okay, so in order to solve this, right click your main project and select add a reference here. Now you are going to get a window like this. Now what does this window tell you? This window is going to allow you to see all the available DLLs that you can access their functionalities. Okay, basically you want to access the DLL that you wrote in your project. This is why you are going to select the projects here, and you can see test N001. I'm gonna click OK. Now if you go to properties of your project and you select references, where is references here, now you are going to see test N001 here. If you see this one here, you will be able to access test N001. Okay, and now let's go here. Now if I say test N0, now you can see it's available. Okay, and now I can call the function in the module, which is say hello. It's as simple as that. Okay, so I've just wrote this. Now I'm gonna run this project and test say hello. This is going to call this project, which is a DLL. It's going to go to this module and call the function say hello. So let's run this. So this here I am going to call the DLL and hello from the DLL. Now you might be asking, okay, you are saying this is a DLL. Who give me a proof that this is actually DLL? Well, that's easy. If you click here now, okay, and copy this path, and let's go into here, we enter. So here this is test N001. As you can see, I'm going to the BIM folder, debug folder. What do you see here? It's test N001 DLL. So this is where your project is. Okay, so I want to show you a few things before I continue. I'm going to go to the module here. I'm going to remove the word public. Okay, and then now if I run this project, I'm going to get an error. The reason for that is this module is not public, and what that means is the functionality in this module will not be accessible to any project other than test N001. Okay, so you must pay attention to this. So this is public, as you can see here. And now if we run the project, you can see we can run the program and access the DLL successfully. Okay, now what if you want to use this DLL in a completely new project? Now this is what I am going to do. I'm going to copy the DLL only and put it on the desktop here. I'm going to start a new project. This is a new project, and I'm gonna say it's Windows 71. Okay, so right now I'm going to say here, this is a button. I'm gonna call it test DLL. Now in the last case we wrote the code of the DLL. In this case, we are going to use the DLL without knowing its source code. We don't have the project, we only have the DLL file. So what should you do? You need, of course, to add a reference to it. So right click here, select add, and select add reference. In this case, you will not select any reference from here. You are going to use browse because you know where the DLL file is, and obviously we need to access the desktop. In this case it's test n00. So now we have just added this one. If you look here, you won't see anything, okay? But if you display the properties of this project, where are the references, you can see test n001 is there. Now let's just access it. So here, test n001 dot say hello. Okay, so now if we run this code and I click here, I can see hello from DLL, from the DLL. Okay, so this is how you create your own library, package it inside a DLL and use it in other projects, or allow others to use it in other projects. It's very easy, very straightforward. One last thing I would like to show you is that the DLLs are usually packaged with your project. So right now I'm going to go to the path where the exe is available. So this is the last project, 71. I'll go here, I'll go to debug folder. Now look, take a look here. This is the DLL file. Okay, I'm gonna run the project from the exe right away, call this function, and it works. Now I'm going to do something different. I'm gonna rename this one so the file is as good as deleted, right? It's just like I've just deleted the file. Now if I run the exe, it's going to work, but the moment I want to access the DLL, I'm going to get this exception. And okay, so I'm going to restore the DLL file. Okay, and now I'm going to run this one here. I'm going to run this. Okay, and the reason I'm showing you this is that you must understand that the DLL is important. It's important to use the DLL with your project, so that if you want to create a package, you must make sure that the DLL is included in the package, so that you will not you will not get a program that will crash because the DLL is missing or something like that. So that will be all. If you have further questions, send them to mk-soft.com. Thank you and have a nice day. Goodbye.